job seekers, and welcome to another edition of Talent Blueprint TV. Today, behavioural-based questioning, behavioural-based interviews, very popular, very common. You need to be prepared for them. If you're going for a commercial, white-collar role, professional environment, it's likely these will come up. So what are they? What the hell are these questions? They're based around the premise that past behaviour in your jobs and experiences are a good predictor of future behaviours. So the questions will try to get that out of you. They usually start with two phrases like, tell me about a time that you dealt with a difficult customer, or give me an example when you've gone above and beyond the call of duty in your role. So they're asking for situations, they're asking for examples. So the top 7 behavioural-based interview questions will be based on themes. And these are the top 7. These in order, I would say. Teamwork interview questions. Number 2, leadership interview questions. Number 3, handling conflict interview questions. Number 4, problem solving, behavioural-based interview questions. Number 5, biggest failure interview questions. Number 6, work ethic interview questions. And number 7, greatest accomplishment, behavioural-based interview questions. So which ones will I be asked? This is the golden question. And in terms of preparation for an interview, you can rehearse all of these, but clearly they're not going to ask all 7 behavioural-based questions. They're usually going to ask around 2 or 3, along with other sort of normal and standard interview questions. So it's really about what job am I going for? Am I going for a team-based? Am I going to be part of a clear team? So clearly teamwork questions are going to come in. Handling conflict among team members, popular one. I know in certain industrial settings, oil and gas, mining, safety questions is one that comes up quite often. So that's something to be aware of. If you're going for a leadership role, a project manager, leadership behavioural-based interview questions are going to be the one. So start to prepare, think about the role, think about the environment, the stage of the company. Are they in a growth phase? Are they in a phase where they've maybe made a lot of people redundant, or they're in a flat period? So, think about what sort of questions are going to come out based on the role and the current business environment. How do I answer them? Look, structure is important. Structure is important with answering all questions in an interview. No one wants to get a rambler on board or someone that goes off path. So there's a couple methods that are out there that you can use to prepare and during an interview. The STAR method or the SAR method, they drop the T out of it, is the most popular. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, and results. As I said, some people drop the T out and just go with situation, action, and results. They sort of deal with the task in the opening response. And this is the best way to, certainly with behavioural-based questions, to structure a reply. So it's concise, it's rehearsed to a certain degree, and the steps to take. And obviously you round it out with the results. Okay, so let's run through a live example now, like I was in an interview and I was going to respond to a behavioural-based question. Let's say I'm going for a leadership role, a manager, a project director, or something similar where I'm going to be looked upon to lead people. And let's say this company in particular that I'm seeing, they're not in a growth period, they're in a flatter period, and they're looking for someone with leadership to help reboot results, get performance up. So let's say the question was something around, tell me about a time you had to lead and motivate people. and this is the situation. I'll read off here. I haven't memorized this interview question. I'm not looking for a job just yet. Okay, so the question is, Michael, tell me about a time you had to lead and motivate people. Okay, first I'm going to start with the STAR method. Using the STAR method, the situation. So when I was at XYZ company, we went through some company-wide redundancies. The team of 7 that remained were forced to carry the jobs of the 3 that were made redundant. As a result, people were overworked and morale was low. That's the situation. The task, as the manager, it was my job to get performance back on track. That's the task. That's the job at hand. The task. Now the action. Now we're going to go into some bullet points here. So you're going to answer this response with 2 or 3 actions that you took, and in this example, to get morale and performance back. So the action. The first step I took was to organise a brainstorming meeting with the full team to discuss strategies. I communicated my appreciation for all their hard work and empathised that we were all going through some tough times with the redundancies. I asked their assistance in identifying ways to be more efficient, including me, and we made sure it was clearly a brainstorming meeting. All ideas were welcome. We spent 1 hour during that meeting, and we got some great ideas. We narrowed that down to 3 ideas, and we wanted to implement at least 2 of those ideas. So what I did was tasked some of the members of the group to look deeper into those ideas to see if they were practical and we could implement them. So that's the action step of outline what I did as the leader, what I did to get performance and morale back on track. Now for the kicker, the result. That's really they're looking for in this answer. So the result. First of all, the team responded very positively to this approach. They were empowered to help find a solution as a group, and it took the focus a little bit off the redundancies and the market, the business climate. Through that very first meeting, we came up with 2 ideas that were implemented quickly. It saved us a lot of time during that stage. One of the ideas was to eliminate some double handling in our back office, in our administration, and that saved up to 4 hours. It freed up 4 hours a week for some of our principal consultants in the team of 7. Another idea was to use our team administrator to again free up some of the admin duties from our senior staff, and what that did was it really made us more efficient. It brought the group tighter together. We were working together again. And so, the results were efficiency, morale was up. We repeated these meetings fortnightly, and we went on to have a 10% growth in the next quarter as a result. There you go. STAR method: situation, task, action, result. That took. You concise that down 4 or 5 minutes. And that's the way we want to answer all these behavioural-based questions. Okay, so interview preparation. Look, the key here is, as we said earlier, you're going to be asked 3 sort of behavioural-based questions based on the role that you're doing. So think about those, go through your career history, the more recent history, and start to circle some, think about things over the last 5 years where there was a conflict and you resolved that. Get some really solid examples and map it out. Literally draw up the STAR method and address these questions that are going to come up. So when they do, you're going to be prepared. You're going to have that. You're going to have your conflict one. You're going to have your teamwork example. You're going to have your leadership examples. You're going to have somewhere to go, and that's where you want to be in any interview, prepared and ready to go. Practice them and rehearse them. You don't want it to come across like you're reading too much from a script, from a book. But look, I'm sure it won't. It'll be delivered natural. But as I said, circle them in your CV, go through them, practice them, And look, if they don't ask the questions that you practiced, it just gets you in the right frame of mind for an interview, because you've got examples there, and they might frame another behavioural-based question, or not even a behavioural-based question, and you can use that example that you'd practiced, to respond to that question. So preparation is key. Good luck. Don't waste a second. Thank you.